The Orlando Magic just passed the halfway point for the season. I have Kobe Price here, Orlando Magic's Sentinel beat writer, talk about how the team has looked. So, Kobe, so far it seems like it's been a tale of two different teams. How would you grade the team so far?
Yeah, I think if you asked me to give them a grade, I would give them a B. A B because of how they did turn their season around after that. I think that what the 5-16 start to the first 21 games. Being able to rattle off six straight wins, win 8 out of 9 to get to the point where I think they're 16-26. Going to the final 40 games. You can't ignore the struggles that they happened early on, even though a lot of them were occurring because of inconsistency with player availability and guys being in and out of the lineup. However, you do want to see how they responded to that adversity, and they've responded very well over the last 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, you mentioned that adversity. It's at the beginning of the season. It seemed like one of the core players was out. Many of the core players were out, and it seemed like once they finally got those players back, there were a glimmer of hope for fans and the team.
Absolutely, and when even asking Magic coach Jamal Mosley about this, asking for his evaluation at the midway point, he mentioned, or paraphrasing, he said that it's hard to evaluate when the roster I've had or the roster that we play with it hasn't been whole, and the better evaluation will be had when the roster is whole. We're starting to get that. Since Markel Fultz and Cole Anthony came back on November 30th, yeah, I think they're 11-10, and then Wendell Carter Jr. and Gary Harris came back. Jalen Suggs just came back not that long ago. Guys missed a little bit of time because of suspensions, and now it seems like the roster is really forming, coming back into a whole. So now you're getting to see a better evaluation of what this team can be. And like I said, 11-10 since Markel and Cole came back, that's very promising. And that's not just a small sample. That's a 21 game sample. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, let's talk about outlook for the rest of the season coming out. Is playoffs actually a reasonable outlook for this team, or is that a dim outlook for this team?
I wouldn't say it's unreasonable, especially, for them, the more reasonable route would be making the playoffs through the play-in tournament. That's definitely more reasonable. And it's not just, it's, to me, it's not unreasonable, not because of the talent. Like the talent's there. We see it. The winning has been there the past 20 or 21 games, but they dug themselves into such a deep hole with their early season struggles. That is a significant gap to make up. I think as of right now, they're 4 games behind the 10 seed in the East, and that's where they would need to at least get to make the plan. So is making up the 4 game difference unreasonable over 40 games? Not at all. But those teams are also, they're also decent to good teams chasing those spots as well. So the Magic have a hill to climb. Is it a hill they are unable to climb or won't be able to climb? I think they could, but a lot would have to break their way to do so. But they're definitely in that race.
Yeah, let's touch on another player that I know the Magic are happy to have back on the court. It's Jonathan Isaac. However, he's in Lakeland right now playing for the G League and obviously trying to make his return from a knee injury to get back to the actual roster of the Magic. How do you look?
Jonathan Isaac, he looked as good as you hoped he would look, and not just because the shots were falling or the special the dunks that he had. He looked fluid. He looked energetic. He looked just good on the court. He was away for 892 days from competitive basketball games. That is a long time. There's a lot that's happened between now and then, but he just looked comfortable. He embraced the physicality. He played with energy. He knew where to be. The instincts seemed to be there, and he just looked solid. And looking solid after not playing for almost 2.5 years, that's massive in my eyes.